the Western world has embraced other forms of music. They've embraced techno, they've embraced punk music, they've embraced not a lot of what bands like we do, because they have other options. People in Eastern Bloc countries, Romania, Czechoslovakia, Bulgaria, Hungary, Russia, are just so adamant about the music that they were not allowed to have for such a long period of time, that for them it was a crime to have an album. If you had a rock album, it was a crime. You go to prison for that one. They said, you know, screw you, pal. This is what we love and this is what we want. Now it's opened up. They're going, heaven has arrived. We are now seeing the bands that we could only listen to, you know, on a wireless or in our rooms hiding somewhere. And so that attitude is there from the way it used to be here 20 years ago.
It was almost like we were sort of blazing a trail, because there'd only been a couple of other American acts that had gone through there, or international acts, I don't know what you want to call them, but you know, it was almost like we were blazing a new trail through this whole country. We went everywhere for a month, and it's a real highlight.
All in all, you know, we're just doing it for the fans. Everybody has their favorite songs, and if you ask each guy in the band to put together their own list, it's going to be a little bit different. But this list was for the fans, strictly for the fans that have been supporting DIO from day one.
Ours hasn't changed. Ours is the same rabid, heavy metal, rock and roll people that they've always been. It's amazing. They're just the same. They're just so loud and into it. It's never changed for us because we haven't changed. That's what our audiences admire about us, I think.
You know, sometimes we go online and we get the fans' response, and a lot of times, you know, the fans do a little poll, you know, the DIO message board, and they post songs that they would like us to play when we go back on tour. And we do listen to that, and we do pay attention to that. And hopefully we'll be able to please everybody.
Get that thumb down, Kelly. That thumb doesn't go on. That's Hawaiian, you see. That's Hawaiian. It means I love you. I love you. That's Italian. That's in Hawaii. That's what that is.
So where did it come from then?
Protection. It's an evil. Well, I give you the evil. That came from me, from my grandmother.
Tell me the story.
It wasn't really much of a story. Just a little kid walking down the street, and my grandmother would see somebody walking by that she thought was giving me the evil eye, so she'd chuck off the light. And just something I remembered all my life, you know, being part of the culture I grew up. It just became something that I became identified with because I did it so much. So I got credit for inventing it, which I didn't do. And it's amazing to me, just absolutely amazing. I've kind of, in some way, been responsible for this signal that has become part of certainly heavy rock and roll. You can see it at Britney Spears concert too.
Steve McGarty, Ajax, Ontario, Canada. Ronnie's assistant is what I do with the band. I tape Cups black. I've been running with Ronnie now for about 3 years. Love every single minute of it. It's a pleasure to work for such a guy that I've known for 25 years. Been a friend for a long time, and finally get to work with, I know he doesn't like this term, but a living legend. The guy's fantastic. I love him to death. Love the whole band.
How come you worked with him for 25 years then? How did you start?
Actually, I met him on a Heaven and Hell tour. I haven't worked for 25 years. I met him on the Heaven and Hell tour with Black Sabbath in Toronto, and it's been pals ever since.
So you've got all the cups blacked out?
Just 4.
Do you want to explain this or something?
Well, you know, it doesn't, because they go on the drum riser. So I can have something to drink. And so if you look from the stage perspective, you get a plastic cup of beer. Instead, you get black No one really knows what's in it. I mean, at least it blends in with the background. I don't care what they know what they drink. But
And I like
it
it.
blends in with the background. He likes it.
So you actually can't see the cups on the
And one is a spit cup, too.
We found them. the official DIO black plastic Dixie cups are so.
We're all here because we love to work for Ronnie. It's just a wonderful organization, and the music is great as well. And you know, you were playing here, and it's a kind of a smelly hole, but it's a legendary place, and it's a rock and roll arena, so it's going to be really good.
And we
good
pulled it off.
tonight.
It's going to look huge,
Yeah,
really
it's going to
big.
be great tonight.
Over here, as compared to North America, the people seem to rock on a lot more, and it's just great.
Yeah, I think a lot of us who work for Ronnie are fans first and foremost, and you know, even every night we look up and say, you know, we're watching the entire album being done every single night, and we feel very lucky to see it. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people who'd like to be in our shoes seeing it every night.
To be mixing it,
Yeah,
for me, it's
great.
It's the greatest, you know. Be mixing all of it.
Everybody sounded great. The band sounded good. Great.
It's been a great 2 months, but I think everybody, especially the band, deserves a few weeks off before we start the next leg of this thing.
And having played all of the songs for Holy Diver, man, what a great set. You know, people, you know, we're actually playing for over 2 hours, but it just goes by so fast. It's great, very enjoyable.
They're great fans. They really are.
It's a fantastic band. It's always been fantastic band, but right now there's something that's just clicking, you know, and we're like a train, you know, and we're going ahead, and everything is just brilliant. It's so good. Everything's really good.
I mean, it's always a pleasure going on stage with with Ronnie and all the guys, Simon and Scott and Doug. You know, it's always fantastic.
So yeah, it was great. The crowd was great, and I had some lovely friends that came to support me, and now we're gonna go party.
And you know, as far as bad things about the other members of the band, yeah, there is one thing. No, it's all right.